Dude, the Lions lit it up today again.
Yeah, dude, they did. That was another thing too with the 2 hour delay. Like I missed the first half of the Lions game, but I didn't really need to see much.
Nope.
Um, did you like how I showed you the photo of me with the tennis ball?
Yes, that was hilarious. I was gonna bring a tennis ball into the studio tonight. I couldn't find one in my garage. I know we have them, but Pam used them because like she puts them in the the fluff when she washes the puffer coats.
Oh yeah, yep.
In the wash or something, or in
Like
the
a dryer ball
dryer,
kind of
maybe.
thing.
Yeah. So maybe they're in the laundry room. I didn't have. I was like, it's not that fun. I was gonna bring one, and I was like, I can't find the stupid tennis balls.
Oh, that's funny.
Yep.
No, it's just ironically
It was sitting right there.
memory yesterday, years ago, my mom tagging me in like a bunch of costumes I've had over the years. I should have showed you all of them. You would because I know you like Halloween, you would have found it funny, but like there it was. There's the photo with the tennis ball and the candy sort.
I do love that stuff. I love like pictures from that time period too. Like
Yeah.
those are just like time capsules.
I know it's kind of funny because my brother's like 7 years older than me, so it's just like I'm like a little Dracula, and then he's like this big Dracula, like compared to me, just because like we'd have similar costumes. Besides the time I was Ron McDonald with my natural hair.
Yeah, Ron McDonald, dude, that's the best. What happened here? What's on your
I
mind?
think that turtle costume I had, though, my mom like painted my shoes green. Either that time, I know she painted my shoes green for sure once. It was either that time or when I was like Jolly the Green Giant. I think I was Jolly the Green Giant one year. And just remember, like I went to the mall and like I was just leaving like green footsteps everywhere in the mall with like green shoes.
You mean like the guy from like the frozen foods?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I was Jolly the Green Giant one year. Yeah,
those
yeah,
commercials. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I was that guy. I don't know why.
I remember those
It's
commercials.
not like I would have like liked
Oh.
it. Oh, like, oh, I want to be Jolly the Green Giant. My mom just wanted to paint my shoes green, I think.
No, but those commercials were like when we were kids, they were on all the time. Ho, 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 Green Giant. Oh. Yeah, our mom's like, I don't talk to my mom, but very much, but like, she did me out for kindergarten. I was one of the Kiss singers. I was the guy with the star. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
dude, I look good. I got to admit, because like, it was like I got the outfit that had the plastic mask and like the smock kind of thing. But she's like, no, you're not wearing the mask. She like painted my face to look just like that guy. And I remember seeing, I don't have the pictures, she has them, I guess, but like I remember seeing him at some point. And like I mean, I look just like that guy. I had the star and the big like
Yeah.
paint on my face.
Is that Ace Frehley, I think?
I don't know. I don't know. I was just the guy that had the star because the eye. Because I mean, that would have been like 1980, 79, maybe even, whenever they were big.
Yeah. No, Ace isn't. Maybe it's what's his name?
Is there somebody named Gene?
Gene, yes.
That's maybe who it was. Can you imagine though? Like, I mean, my whole class was dressed up. Like now you can't like have that kind of fun in school. Space Ace. Somebody says Space Ace Freely.
Paul Stanley, that's who I'm thinking of, maybe.
Space Ace.
Yes, you're Paul Stanley.
5357 says Space Ace Freely. I don't even know because I wasn't like, I mean, I was 7 and I'm not really a huge Kiss fan, but
I like Kiss.
Maybe I mean, I don't like but I don't know like their names, but yeah, like I mean, I guess apparently my mom was a Kiss fan. I mean, if she dressed up her kid as Kiss to go to kindergarten,
right?
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So
look at this crap now. Like, remember when it was like,
dude, it's light out here still. That's crazy because it's light out here now.
Wow. Yeah. It's crap. 6:30 sunsets now.
Well, this time next week though,
it'll be
pitch black.
Yes.
It'll
be like, yes, it'll be like 8:01.
Yeah. Oh man, it'll be crazy.
I mean, you got your thing with President of the United States. You get rid of the freestyle machines. I get rid of daylight saving. Like, I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think, whatever. I mean, my life doesn't. My life is so boring. I live in my house. It's gonna get dark earlier. At least when I go out to walk at 5 a.m, it'll be light earlier then. And
yeah,
I'm a hermit.
It's not good for the dogs. It's not good for kids. Like, people. I'm surprised with you because you're like a man of like a very like tight schedule. I'm surprised that
I am. I mean, as I get older, I just try not to worry about things. It just let them go because
Oh man, I'm not worried. I don't like stay up all night, like stressing out about it. I'm
no,
just
I
saying
don't.
that's
I
like
mean,
one of
no,
the
but I
things
mean, it
I would
makes
push the change.
I'm with you though. It makes night feel like it goes forever. I'm like,
Yeah,
holy, like that first week, I'm like, God, like from 4 o'clock to like 10 o'clock, I'm like, I've been up like 12 hours. Like, when's it time to go to bed?
right.
And it's like 8 o'clock. I'm like, is it midnight?
I know
Every year. I'm like,
it's so wrong.
what is going on? All right, let's do this.
I don't even know what we're going to talk about today, but let's do a
Either.
show.
I have no idea. All right, here we go. Let's hit this. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP open line for Sunday night, October 27th, 2024. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Sunday night to you, or happy Halloween if you're checking us out on the replay. Boo to you. We're going to have a good time over the next hour at 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395, taking your calls because it's the BOGP open line. And to do this, we got to have both hosts, both ghosts hosts here tonight to talk to you. And we'll have our password because you got to, get through the password to talk Disney with us tonight. And we'll have two passwords to get in. Scotty G joining us up from Michigan, where it is pitch dark already. Holy cow. Scott, what's going on? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, Mike. It was a nice Sunday. Our fall has been like gorgeous. I was talking to Elizabeth about this yesterday. Like we've had so many clear days. I mean, the rain would be nice sometimes, right? But I've just loved we've had an unbelievable amount of like blue sky days with like in the upper temperatures, like in the leaves, and it's just been popping like all fall long. It's just been a beautiful fall. And with the time change coming, I feel like that's a sign of things to change. But man, I've just really enjoyed our fall weather. I think you're having something similar, right, in St. Louis area?
We've had beautiful weather. I mean, but this Tuesday, it's going to be 86. So we're going to spike up to record high temperatures one more time. And then by Halloween on the replay here, if you're checking this out, I think we're supposed to be back at highs like in the upper 50s. So again, it's that Midwest roller coaster fall type thing. So, but we haven't had
That
rain.
feels more like Halloween weather, though, right? Like
And that's
56
fine.
sounds about
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah, because I mean, people like around here, everybody gets their fire pits out as the people go around and trick or treat.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it would
We
be
we
kind of not cool if it was.
last year we had snow. I remember on Halloween. I was outside dressed as Mickey Mouse. We had Boo to You playing. I was dancing, all this stuff, and I remember snow was falling. So
Yeah,
we'll see what happens this year.
I remember one year we were at the old house, probably about 10 years ago. There's a huge snowstorm on the East Coast. Like, I mean, a big snowstorm because I was following it. And yeah, we were trick or treating, but it was like
Was that
it was a big
Sandy? I
deal.
wonder. Was that
It
the
might have
Sandy?
been. Was that
Yeah.
on Halloween? I mean, it was a big
Can't
deal.
remember. That might have been more closer to like Thanksgiving. I can't remember, but I'm
It was,
sure someone in the Northeast will remember because
oh,
that
yeah,
had
a
a
lot of
huge
people
impact.
exactly. They're like, oh my God, how can you not know that? I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
in St. Louis. Missouri. I remember watching it, but I was like, man, that's too early for that kind of snowstorm. But we've had cold weather, but yeah, just the bad thing is when you have to wear a coat over your Halloween costume, as a kid. That's kind of a wreck, but it happens sometimes. But what are you gonna do? So tonight we're gonna be talking Disney. We have some stuff we could talk about. The Disney Treasure cruise ship was officially turned over to Disney this week. So I guess they signed some papers on the ship. I don't know how exactly this works. I saw some people sitting on at a table. The captain was there and it's all whites. Mickey, Captain Minnie, Captain Minnie, Captain Mickey were there looking happy as they all do. They're at a table in the lobby on the Treasure signing some papers. I don't know. Do they get keys? I don't know how that works. They get a title. Who knows? Apparently, though, Disney Cruise Line 6 days early got the keys to the car. They own the ship now. I don't know if it's like, once you get it, you drive off the pier, no more warranty. I don't know how any of that works, but Disney Cruise Line now owns the Treasure. So, yay, we're going to have another ship. I'm excited because I get to sit
I
on
love ships. So yeah, let's do it.
I'm super excited because it's got the Haunted Mansion bar. That'll be cool. And it's got the Coco restaurant, which God help us. I hope it serves Mexican food.
You're going to be on this ship, aren't you?
December 12th.
Oh man. Oh, it kills me. I'm so happy for you though.
I cannot wait. Yes. So I'll be live streaming, and I'm going to try to do a live show from the Disney Treasure because I'm guessing the ship's going to have upgraded internet access. This is I think it might have Starlink. And if it has Starlink, I think we could do a live show from the ship. And
That'd be cool.
Disney Cruise Line would encourage that because this is why they're bringing us on board. So be prepared for possibly a live show from the Disney Treasure. And
That'd be really neat.
Yep. Because I mean, I was on the Fantasy and we had enough bandwidth. I could FaceTime and everything from home. I mean, when we were in the middle of the ocean, you know,
Oh, you FaceTime me.
we're talking
just there this summer. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking all the time. And I think this obviously will probably have at least that good of internet connection. So we will try to get there. So we could talk about that. Our friend Wade last night, you know, Wade, he calls in here all the time. Good Husker fan, Big Ten guy from up in Lincoln, Nebraska. He got in late last night. We have a group text, Wade, Scott, and I lighted up. We talked a little college football. We always talk Disney. And he tells us, oh man, getting in late last night and luggage, stuff like that. It's like I think I guess he was staying in the boardwalk or in the boardwalk area.
He's doing boardwalk a couple nights and then going to Wilderness Lodge for like the wine and dine race.
Okay.
Week. Yeah.
So I was kind of distracted. I was watching the A&M and LSU game, and those games are wild. And I had the 4 box on, which drives my wife crazy because she's like, "Oh my god, you got Michigan, Michigan State."
I'll say there was a good game happening in the state of Michigan at that time too.
Okay, anyway, but yeah, it was wild at the end. Yeah, it was a good game too. But yeah, all of a sudden, Wade tells us, man, it's like late at night. I'm hungry. I mean, it's like, this was at what, like 9:30 Eastern or something when he texted us. And he's trying to get something to eat. He's like, I can't really find anything. And he sends this picture. I think we're going to have to go here. It's a picture of the cake bake shop. I'm like, yes,
please do.
Yes. Cause I want to hear about it. Cause Wade is a man that I absolutely trust his opinions. Like he's eaten all kinds of places. He's a world traveler. Like he goes to Hawaii all the time. He travels the world all the time. Like he's got great taste. He honest. I mean, if you want to take somebody's opinion for just honest to God truth, you could trust it. It's Wade. He's not going to have hyperbole. He's going to shoot from the hip. Boom. So he's like, oh, it's like a 15-minute wait. I think he said he looked and peered in. It looked to be about a quarter full or so, but he shot video of it. And Scott, I thought this place looked super fancy. It's very white. And
Scott looks so good to me.
It does. Well, I mean, not Scott. Wade said it's kind of loud because it's a lot of hard surfaces. That kind of reminds me of Beaches and Cream. To me, Beaches and Cream, now that they've expanded it, seems really loud to me. But you
could even hear it in his video, the short clip he sent. Like you could hear the voices bouncing off the floors and walls for sure. Very, very noisy, I would say. So you would think that vibe wouldn't be noisy. You think it'd be quiet, a little bit,
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna put some rugs down or soften.
That's what I said to Wade. Like they gotta put some rug purchases. When I looked at his video, like it reminded me of like Narcoossee's a little bit. I don't know why. Like the way like it was like circular and all that. And I think the ESPN bar was kind of circular too, I think, in some sense. But it looked great. Like I loved like the white outfits the servers were wearing. They had like pink shoes on. It just looked so elegant was the word I was thinking of. And I was like, man, like I was wanting to dine there anyway, but when I saw that, it just got me even more psyched. Man, I hope I can get a reservation because it looks really, really nice to me.
So he said that he got, I believe, his instant feedback to us was something. I can even call in. I don't know if he's tuned in. He's down at Walt Disney World, so he's probably busy out and about. But I think he got like soup, a sandwich, quiche, and a piece of cake.
They got a slice of cake.
It was like just a hair over $100.
Yeah, I think it was like 96 bucks or something. Yeah.
I think it was 106 because Pam and I were talking about this in the drive-through. I'm pulling up our text because we're just trying to let you know, like, a quick review here because, there it was like, 106 with a gratuity. So that's what he thought. I mean, that's what he got, and that's what it came to. So soup sandwich, the quiche, and a slice of cake. But he said he left and he wasn't full. So again, I don't know. I mean, it's the ambiance, it's the experience. What are you going for? Are you going to get full? I think if you're going to get full, you're going to a place like Whispering Canyon. You're going to a place like, I don't know, name your like heavier,
or Yachtsman Steakhouse or Flying Fish right down the road.
Floridian Cafe, something like that maybe. I don't know. What did you think from what Wade, like, did it dissuade you? Did it encourage you? Like when from this contact,
It
what do you
encouraged me from the videos. Like I would say, like I would not have ordered what Wade ordered. Is one thing, like I would have gotten like a burger or something. Like I mean, what he ordered like felt light to me anyway. So that's why I'm like, well. And if Wade was on the phone right now, I tell him that too. I was like, "Well, I think you ordered to not get full, honestly, based on the menu items you did. So, and he said the cake was huge, and like they didn't finish that too much sweet, right? They're gonna take it back and eat it later on today. But I just think like he ordered light, and that's why he wasn't full. Was the take I had on it, but we'll see.
It could have been also too the time of day. I mean, maybe he didn't want to get full at 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
Just saying, like, I mean, it's traveling and you're getting ready to go to bed. It could have been the goal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that could have been some people don't want to get stuffed and roll right into bed after a long day
absolutely.
of
Yeah,
travel. So and again, like what I told, he's like, I'm gonna go here. He was kind of like, wanting us to kind of reassure him. I think at first, I mean, he was gonna go there either way. We just kind of mess around with each other. But my first thing was like, you're on vacation. Absolutely go there. You know what I'm saying? It's a new experience. You're a Disney fan. Wade's been almost every place at Walt Disney World at this point. He's like a bunch of us, right? We've been to almost every restaurant on property at least once just to check it out, to see what it's about. I'm like, go. I mean, if it's expensive, go once. You don't have to go 10 times, but see what it's about. And he did. And, when we'll talk to him, maybe not this week, but maybe in the weeks to come, we'll get his opinion and, maybe he'll go back, maybe he won't, but at least he got to have the experience. That's what I think everybody should do. Like, go
right. Yeah.
once and
I
base
mean,
your
that's how I
opinion.
feel about Space 220. Like if something is good, like and expensive, that's fine with me as long as it's good and I'm getting some value out of it. I know we use the word value a lot on this show, but I don't see the value in Space 220 personally. Like when I've been there, I was like, man, it just didn't like it just didn't do the job for me. But like if this does, like I'm willing to try it. But like and if it's over expensive and it doesn't taste good or I'm not satisfied or full or whatever, then then I'll probably be one and done or just swing by and get a cake if I'm sitting on the boardwalk or something. Just do desserts if the desserts are good or whatever. But yeah, I'm with you, Mike. Like, especially if as frequent visitors as we are, like we got to try it at least once, like how Wade did last night. Just got to see how it is. But if there's value there, then I'll definitely do it more than once.
And if the cake is big enough, and again, here I am kind of justified too, is if it's big enough to split and it's $21 or $22 a slice, that's $10 a person or $11 a person. I don't know. I want to try it. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I won't. We'll see. I mean, the thing is, here I've
Oh,
come to
you're
the
gonna try it. I feel like,
well, I
especially
mean, I
if
would
you and
with
I are down there together at some
you,
point, you
with
will
you,
try.
absolutely. I wouldn't do it solo, I don't think, but I do it because I want to be with my friends. And it's everything like that's more fun with friends, right? I mean, I would totally do it with you. Anyway, let's get to the phone lines are open 407-413-9395. So speaking of the devil, I see Husker Hotline coming through.
And I see Don in the chat saying Space 220 is awesome. And I can see that too, right? Like, and
Yeah.
I'm glad it's awesome for the majority of the people that, as you see, Mike, that's the one of the hardest ADRs to get, right? Is that Space 220. Like,
It is.
I'm on it 60 plus days and I still can't find that restaurant. So maybe that's actually why I don't go as much. Who knows, right?
All right,
But
so we
I
got to
can
get
see
the
this-
password, even though it's Wade on the line, who's the star of the show for the first 15 minutes already without even being on the line. But password is, we got to be fair here. You're the craziest candy you ever got as a kid going trick-or-treating, or the craziest costume you ever wore when you went around trick-or-treating if you did that. So which one are you going to pick, Wade? And then let's pick your mind real quick.
I know my wife would tell you it is because there's a picture, there's evidence. I was full face paint, makeup, tights, my guitar, Paul Stanley from Kiss.
It's Kiss.
So was Mike. So was Mike.
We should have had a band, man. We were rocking. Me too.
Was that your costume?
Yeah, when I was in kindergarten. I had the star on my eye. My mom made me up. I was rocking. Absolutely.
Oh, man, I was too. I tell you what. And I don't remember how old I was, but I actually had a band and we played all Kiss. A sixth grade concert. We played 12 Kiss songs.
Oh my God.
And the principal made us change. One of Kiss's albums was Hotter Than Hell. We had to sing Hotter Than Heck in sixth grade. So didn't quite have the same, panache, but it was good.
I don't think I had any idea who Kiss was when I was in kindergarten. My mom just like put the smock on me, the little plastic smock. It came with a face mask, but she painted my face and sent me off to Mrs. Brown's class. That's all I know. And I had a picture.
So there's the picture evidence. I
love
hope there's some home video evidence of at least like a couple songs by the 6th grade Kiss band, because that would be epic.
I don't know if there is. I might have somewhere that there may be. It was good. At least we thought it was good. It probably wasn't good, but we thought it was good. It was. I mean, Scott, I told you that my guitar teacher tried to teach me Yes, and I said, can I just learn some 3-chord Kiss songs instead?
So, Yes is a little more complicated for sure than some Kiss songs. Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, 12-minute songs. Yes, yes, for sure.
Yes.
That's too funny. It was my first concert. The Kiss
awesome.
Dynasty tour, I think. So anyway,
I love it. So we were just talking about you though, about last night. We, because it was interesting because we've been talking about this the last couple of weeks, with the price posting and then the prices being lowered slightly and all that controversy. But you got to go there last night. So what were your thoughts to the Cake Bake Shop?
Well, I heard a little bit. We were actually we're hustling over to Mama Melrose. We just checked in and Shelly sat down. So I said, I'm going to run outside and call the boys here for a second. I think you nailed it. I think you both nailed it. We got there. It was late. And we looked at Flying Fish menu. I said, I don't know if I can eat a steak right now because it's getting late, right? And I said, walk down to Cake Bake Shop. They said 15-minute wait. I looked in. I'm like, oh, okay. I can see all these tables. So we got in and we kind of thought, and Scott, you nailed it too. We didn't want to get stuffed. I didn't want to throw down a big porterhouse steak and salad and we wanted to have cake too. So we wanted something just to sort of tide us over, but not be stuffed, because we did go back to the room and unpack a little bit and go to bed. So the menu is very extensive. There's a lot on the menu, and I would like to go back and try something a little heavier. I almost got the burger, and then I thought, I saw it come out, a bunch of fries. I thought, no, I'll go with the sandwich. Shelly would get the quiche. We thought that would be enough. And it was good. It was the ingredients is very high quality. I will say that. The quiche is very interesting. I think it was a goat cheese egg quiche. I think they must whip that up in a blender and then put it in the pie crust and bake it, because it was almost airy. Like you take a bite of it, it was like a custard. It almost kind of fell apart like a firm pudding. It was kind of different than any quiche I've ever had. Gotcha. So that made it, you ate the whole thing. You're like, I kind of ate something, but I feel like I could maybe have another piece. But there was a lot of pie crust with it. And I thought I'd get a sandwich. I thought it would be kind of big. It was about 4 inches of baguette bread, and a piece of ham and brie cheese. So it was smaller than I thought it would be.
That's not your typical like Disney portion size, I feel like, right there.
What's that? What'd you say, Scott?
I said that didn't sound like your typical Disney portion size. You go to a place, you get a sandwich, and it's like a 12-inch baguette, not a 4-inch. I see what you're saying. It does feel kind of like a small serving.
Yeah, and I thought it would be almost bigger, and I thought, well, maybe we'll even take it back and we eat, whatever. It was small for $26.99, I think, and so it was good. It tasted fantastic. The bread was fresh. The ham, everything was good about it. Came with a little salad, like arugula salad with a lemon vinaigrette. That was good, small. And so I had the soup, the chicken velvet soup. That was very good. It came with a little piece of baguette bread too. It was good, for $11. And so then we're like, well, we have to have cake. So we got the pumpkin and chocolate cake, and we ate half of it, a little more than half, I think. And it was good. I like the Gideon's peanut butter. I think it is cake better. So, it didn't like knock our socks off. Now, maybe it was 10:30 at night at this point, and I'm sure they made the cake in the morning. So, it wasn't as fresh as I thought it would be, but it was good. So again, with gratuity, we were $106. We didn't have any drinks because it was kind of late. I'm like, well, I don't want any caffeine. I didn't really want an alcoholic drink. So we just stayed away from that. Shelly almost got a wine, but then she's like, nah, it might give me a headache. So we ate it, and the restaurant is beautiful. I would say it is if you were going to a place like California Grill, Narcoossee's, Scott, I heard you mention that, it looks like that. And that's the way I think I would treat it next time, is go in, maybe get like the salmon, maybe get a burger, maybe get the crab cakes for $50. Didn't look very big to me, but maybe do something like that. Now you're going to spend, easy a couple $100 instead of $100 like we did. There was a line at the bakery. The bakery's in this location, the old ESPN shop. There was like 25 people in line when we went in and when we went out. So people were going in to buy the piece of cake to take it home or take it back to the resort and try it. So I would say that it's a very elevated experience. There's no doubt about that. The ingredients are very, very fresh. But if you want to get stuffed, order something more than quiche sandwich. Because again, you go to Boma for $50, you're stuffed, right? You go back for more, you're stuffed. Not that that's what it's all about, but you're going to leave full. And if you don't, you did it wrong, right?
If the quality is good too, that's important to me, which you've said several times, right? That the ingredients are really fresh, which I think is really important. I think that's part of the price tag there. And I don't know if you heard, like, I was just kind of joking around. I was like, I think Wade just ordered light anyway, which you kind of admitted that you kind of did, which makes sense with all the travel that day. But so I would be curious too to try. And what you said sounded really good. I just wish the portion size was a little bigger, but I'm excited to try like the burger or something else there too, just to see how filling, I guess, that is and how fresh and what the quality is.
Well, the burger same price as the ham and brie sandwich I had. So I'm thinking, and you get a bunch of fries. So you get a salad with it, but I think you'd get more full with that. And I would like to try that again. I will do it again. Now I might go back and not get the cake, to be honest with you, and just eat, maybe get a soup and salad burger or something like that. Cause I think the cake's good, but I think it's maybe from what I tasted and saw other people eating, it's maybe a little bit much for what you get. It's a 2-person, maybe 3 people cake. So if you look at it that way, if you each order dessert, it might be $22, right? And 3 desserts or more. But I think I might skip the cake next time. That maybe sounds odd, say for a place called Cake Bake Shop.
Right.
That's maybe what I would do, or maybe try their pie. Their pies are $17, so it's still not cheap. And I think I joked a few weeks ago, you get a massive apple pie at Costco for $12.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking my language. Wade just caught me right there. Now you're talking my language. You get the whole pie for $12.
Wait, can I ask you? Can I ask you about the bar? So Wade, in that clip you sent, I saw like a little glimpse of the bar, and it looked really nice, like with very like white back there, and like I saw those bar stools. What did you get a look at the bar? I know you didn't get a drink or anything. Were there a lot of people up there? What were your thoughts on that?
The bar, and I kind of held the phone a little above their heads. There was about 6-7 people at the bar when we left, about 10:30 or so. Bar's beautiful. I almost got an old fashioned to try it. And it was like $18, so it wasn't terribly off the normal Disney price. Beautiful bar. And if you wanted to just go in and have a drink, great place to go have a drink.
I think that's what I would want to do.
Yeah. And you could get something to eat there too. It is the same layout as obviously as the ESPN Club. In fact, I was kind of laughing. I was taking the video. I'm like, yep, that's where I watched Nebraska lose to Texas in the Big 12 championship game in 2000, right in that corner. It's, the rotunda, the round part. But the bar's cool. I mean, it's a nice bar. You go have, the drinks are going to be the La Cava del Tequila type prices. The one thing is there's no discounts, no Disney AP or DVC discounts. And you couldn't use our Magic Band. We had to, use a credit card or whatever. So that was, and he told us, he goes, yeah, we're not connected to the Disney system. So again, I know they're a third party restaurant, but I thought that was a little bit odd, but
it is.
Maybe over time
maybe
it will
that's
be
just a for now thing.
Yeah, could be.
Exactly.
I mean, are there places at Disney Springs? I mean, there's a lot of places at Disney Springs that aren't owned by Disney. You can still use your Magic Band, I think.
Yeah, sure. And they give you the kind of the 10% AP discount, right? So, that wasn't happening now. Of course, they're not taking ADRs right now either. It's just walk up. They did tell us the reason that they're not full, and we had to wait 15 minutes for a 3/4 empty restaurant, was they, we're still figuring things out, and they're not fully staffed. I kind of thought, wait, hasn't this place been in construction for 3 years? But I know it takes.
Don't say that before. Don't say that before they bring the food. And two, I mean, that's what I tell my wife. Like, dude, don't be mad at. Like, she'll like, you did something wrong. I'm like, wait till they bring my food before you bring that up. Like, seriously, like, wait till they bring my stuff. Well, they're probably still in a
Yeah.
soft opening phase, so maybe that's the whole thing. Maybe
They
they're
are, I
not
think.
officially open, I guess.
Yeah, I think they are. They said they would be taking ADRs, but it might be a few weeks. So, but you know, it's the presentation's great. I mean, all the wait staff, they all have the exact same shoes on. I almost think they're like specially. It looks like they almost had Cake Bake Shop embroidered on it. There's something embroidered on it, like pink soles, white, kind of funky tennis shoes type. You know, white pants, white shirts, pink aprons. They look good, and they're very attentive. The guy we had was very attentive. They're good. I almost got asked, "Are you okay? Is everything good?" A few too many times, but I understand they're trying to figure it out, which is good. You'd rather have somebody ask you if you need something, you're all right, than you have to search out somebody for a glass of water. But it was good. It was good. It was just $100 is for a sandwich and quiche. Yeah. Like I said, maybe I'll order better next time, or order something to get a little bit more full, not at 10 o'clock at night, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't want to be stuffed going to bed. That makes it.
Yeah.
I've learned that lesson. I still try to. I mean, I make the mistake often, but you pay for it.
Yeah, I know. I've done it plenty of times. Like I said, BOMA. You go eat a lot, then you go to bed. You're like, oh my gosh, why did I eat those last 6 Zebra Domes?
Exactly. Like, yeah, I tried to get my money's
they were there.
worth.
That's
yeah,
why.
Exactly. Like, yeah, you had to try to get your money's worth. Yeah, you're in pain.
No, I just get a bunch of more turkey at the end because I want that BOMA mustard.
You love that BOMA
Dude,
mustard.
the BOMA mustard is the best tasting thing at Walt Disney World.
Best condiment at Disney World. There's no doubt about that.
Okay, there. Yeah, that's better said. Thank you, Wade.
So what are you guys doing tonight? Anything? Would you guys have any big things today? Or I mean, you're at Walt Disney World. I'm sitting in my basement.
Hollywood Studios all day. Pretty much rode everything. It was not too terribly busy. Did wait a little bit longer Rise of the Resistance than I wanted to. It said 50 minutes. Ended up being an hour and 28 minutes. So that was a little bit but everything else was 20, 15, 6, 7, 8 minutes. It was pretty short, actually. Even Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster. So we're just going to Mama Melrose now. So I have to decide between the steak and the pork chop, and I will be full when I leave here tonight.
The steak. I think the steak is really underrated there. I think it's really good.
I know that's your go-to.
That's a good restaurant. That is a good underrated restaurant. I love Mama Melrose. Man,
I do too. I'm looking at it, standing out front of it right now. I should probably run here in a minute, but Shelly's at the table, so yeah, I can see the chefs in the kitchen with the flames going up, cooking up something. So
I just feel like I'm in Hollywood, man. I love the photos on the wall when you get in there and like all the decor. So make sure you go to the back of the restaurant though and just tap that Rose Bowl pennant from the Spartans back there, because Michigan State. Michigan may have beat us yesterday, but Michigan State is represented in Mama Melrose. I'm just saying. So
nobody. Yeah. Go ahead.
Very true. And Scott, I was hoping that your team could bail Mike and I out from yesterday, so we could have one.
Yeah.
One win.
Nobody had it worse than us yesterday, man. We got smoked. I thought you guys had it though, Wade. I thought you had it. I was like, oh man, in the shoe, you have it. Oh man. Rayola.
It was right there. Right there. Yeah. I go back to he's 19. Give him a year.
I know.
Give him a year. Let him get Brady Cook experience, a guy like that, and then not be hurt. So
yeah, I know.
But yeah,
I know. You're at Walt Disney World. I'm sitting in my basement frustrated. So what are you gonna do? I bought a new hat.
Well, Wade, I love you guys. I love Shelly. Don't leave Shelly all alone like that. Some guy's gonna end up taking your seat here in a second. So you better go back in that restaurant.
If he pays for dinner, I'm good. So
yeah, but you're at Mama Melrose tonight. It's half price compared to last night. Come on now.
True. That is very true. Very true.
Hey, Wade, thanks we appreciate you calling in though, because it's middle of your vacation. That was very kind of you. Thanks so much. Tell Shelly we said hey.
I will for sure. Hey guys, always a pleasure. Have a great rest of the show, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
We appreciate you. Have fun. All right, bye-bye.
Thanks. I'll take care. Bye.
Yeah, great review. That's a great review.
I mean, we have the best friends right there, right in the middle of his dinner. Pretty much. He's getting ready to go into dinner at Mama Melrose. He's at Hollywood Studios. I'm gonna call out there and let you know how Cake Bake Shop is. That's good.
Look at Beth. Beth was texting Shelly while Wade was on the phone. So that made good. I just feel bad for Shelly's just sitting there all by herself. I'm just saying, like someone's going to take that seat and say, hey, can I join you?
Hey, yeah. I mean, is this seat taken? Right. All right. We have our next call on the line. Hey, who's joining us?
Hey, Mike and Scotty G. It's Brandon up in New Hampshire. How are you guys?
We are great, but the password for tonight's show is the craziest candy you ever got as a kid, or the craziest costume you ever wore as a kid to go trick or treating. What do you got?
I got a couple for you. When I grew up as a kid in Gilsum, New Hampshire, a small town of like 650 people. We had more deer than we had people. And there was an old lady in town named Mildred McCool, rest in peace. She's been gone for many years. She would hand out little baggies of homemade peanut butter fudge that people would line up her driveway for to get those 5 pieces of fudge. It was just unreal. And it was back in the day, we're talking the 80s, when you didn't worry about like people putting bad things in the candy or anything like that. It was a small town, it was a community. But Mildred's driveway lined up for 30 kids out of 50 in the whole town just to get that peanut butter fudge.
Okay. Just for the record, tonight's caller of the night, rest in peace, is Mildred from New Hampshire. Even though she's not with us,
she was unreal. I used to shovel her driveway all winter long, just to help the lady out. But man, her peanut butter fudge every year before we had the festivities at the Gilsum Town Hall, every kid and their brother knew, go to Mildred's, get your peanut butter fudge bag. And then when you get home, because I grew up with my grandparents, they'd be like, did you make sure you went to Mildred's? So everybody in the house could get a piece of that
exactly. If you didn't, get out. Go, hurry! She's gonna run out.
Yep.
Get in line. Exactly.
Exactly. And she did run out eventually. And we also had another lady, Mrs. Tenney, which is one of our neighbors. She would save up her pennies all year and put them in this giant glass bowl. So you showed up at her doorstep, and she would, you'd trick or treat, and she'd grab a handful of pennies and throw them in the bag. Now, of course, we grew up in the age of penny candy.
Yep. That
handful of pennies made sure that you had that little brown paper bag half full of candy with the little Swedish fish, the strawberry candies, or the Tootsie Rolls. It was worth going to her house every time.
Yep. You go to Ben Franklin or the, we had a little place on our main street, our little St. Ferdinand Street, where you go up and buy the lick, all that houndstooth and all that stuff, all that cheap stuff. Like I said, penny candy. All right, so what do you got? What are we talking about?
I was gonna say though, Brandon. We know he's a really nice guy, and it was so nice that he would shovel the snow. But I think he was doing that for Mildred just to get a little extra fudge. I think is why he may have been shoveling that snow.
Peanut butter fudge.
Right. Exactly.
It was the homemade peanut butter fudge, Scotty G. And I'll tell you what, I would have shoveled that to this day if she was still alive. Just to get that peanut butter.
I know you would.
Peanut butter fudge. Oh, that sounds
so good. Oh, it was just unreal. And I'll share a story with my grandparents. We ended up being the hit of the neighborhood because my grandparents figured out that candy was pretty expensive back then. They could figure out that you could buy a case of soda really cheap. So when they would do trick-or-treating, all the kids loved our house because my grandparents used to hand out full-size 12-ounce cans of soda. You choose whichever one you want, because my grandfather would buy like 5 cases of soda. Mountain Dew, Pepsi, Coke, whatever it was. Everybody go to Brandon's house. They're giving out full cans of Coke. I'm sure their parents hated it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we actually had a family that did that in our neighborhood. We gave out Vest. They gave out Vest, which was in St. Louis. It's an institution, Vest Soda, because it's a local bottle company, and it's like the cheap, generic, cheapest soda that you can buy. But I mean, if you grew up in St. Louis, it's a thing. We drank Vest as kids because you didn't buy Pepsi or Coke in our house because it was too expensive. We had Vest because they just had it was just called cola, Diet Cola, root beer, cherry, but they had 20 flavors, cream soda. They had Dr. Diablo, because it wasn't Dr. Pepper, it was Dr. Diablo, all these rip-off names. But yeah, kind of same things they give. There was always a house in the neighborhood you'd be like, ooh, and there's a house that's giving out full-size candy bars, and half the time it never really was true, but you'd be on this, witch hunt for it. But I mean, that's what makes Halloween. It was so fun back in the day.
I'll tell you the craziest costume I ever had. My grandmother's best friend that they played bridge every week. She came over about 3 hours before trick-or-treating because we had a local town hall that we had judging of the Halloween contest, your costume contest, you bobbed for apples, you had the popcorn on a string type of stuff. She came over about 3 hours before trick-or-treating, and she had shredded about 30 white sheets. and wrapped me up as a mummy. Before I could go trick-or-treating, I had to roll around in our dirt driveway just to make it look dirty and rub charcoal from the wood stove on my face to make me look like a little mummy. I was probably 6, 7 years old. I won that year, and I won the first ever Super Soaker I had ever seen in my life.
Oh, totally worth it. Super Soakers are awesome. I mean, it's a lot of work, but totally worth it. By the way, real quick, because we got to get to the Disney, but I mean, bobbing for apples, looking back on that, how gross was that? Like everybody sticking their face in that
disgusting.
water.
Absolutely disgusting. But yeah, getting
I
back
did
to
it
Disney, I
too.
can't compare to what Wade's story was, but like Scotty G and I were both saying, if the ingredients are good, if the food is worth the money, I'm willing to pay it every time. I love Haleo. I love Toledo at the top of the Grand Destino Tower, Morimoto, Asia, Homecoming, all the best restaurants on property. I will pay that money if the food is that good. If Wade says going to the cake bake shop is that good, or the quality of ingredients is that good, I'll give it a shot at least once. It's only fair.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, because you're going, if you think about it, when you go on vacation, you're going for experiences. And
Right.
that's what it's about, right? I mean, if you don't want to do that, oh my God, I can't. Sorry, I have a football game on. The Commanders just won on a crazy tip from Jaden Daniels on a 70-yard pass. But you're exactly right. I mean, you're on vacation. You want to have that experience while you're there, and you can't get that at home. Like, I'm not going to ever get to dine at a place like Cake Bake Shop, Haleo. I mean, that's why I go to the same. You see me check in. I go to the same places all the time. I go to the Brass Rail. I go to LS Teca. I mean, you're on vacation. You're going to spend more, but I mean, you don't do that every week. You do that once a year, twice a year if you're lucky. Live a little. You know, it's why we work so hard the other 50 weeks of the year. It's kind of how I see it. I mean, plus, I mean, I don't have to go to the Cake Bake Shop, but I could go to Mama Melrose, like, you know, like Wade's doing tonight, you know, but live a little is what I say on vacation. It's vacation. You gotta splurge some.
Well, then, Mike, you can probably grab your buffalo chicken grilled cheese sandwich probably anywhere in the world, or make it yourself, but you go do the ABC commissary.
Because, and I tell this to Scott all the time, I could make that, but I don't make it at home. One, because, you know, it wouldn't, if you have something, people ask me here, it gets back to this too, philosophically. People ask me all the time, like, are you going to move to Florida? Like, you're a big Disney fan. You should move to Orlando. And I know some people have, and they say it doesn't ruin the magic. I don't know if I will, because I kind of like where I live. Like, I'm cool with this. Like, I like the seasons. I'm just like a Midwest guy, I think. And I like now flying, that I can be down there in 2 hours, have fun, come back and stuff like that. I'm fine with that. But to get to the sandwich, I like just having it enough that it's special when I'm there. And I like having it inside the ABC commissary specifically because I think it tastes better eating it inside the restaurant where there's like fake palm trees inside. And I love the stupid background loop they play inside that restaurant.
So good. It's not stupid.
It's so good. Scott says it too. It's such a good background loop. Like, it makes the sandwich taste better. Like, it's the experience of it, even though it's a stupid $11-12 sandwich with like 12 steak fries. You know, it's like it's what I enjoy. You know what I'm saying? It's vacation to me. So it makes me happy. That's the bottom line.
Absolutely. And I couldn't tell you that I couldn't make a soft baked pretzel at home with some sort of a plastic cheese sauce. But having that when you walk out of the land pavilion and you take a right towards Figment and you see that pretzel cart there that has the Mickey pretzels and the cheese, I have to do it. It only tastes good there. It's not going to taste the same at home.
And I think it's where you do have to have discipline, right? Because a lot of these things you could have all the time at home. But if you reserve these kind of experiences and these things for vacation, it keeps them kind of precious, special, so that, you know, that that's the good times. I mean, Scott, do you do that? I mean, there's certain things I only do. Like, I mean, you talked about like with the Run Disney shoes, like they were like your Cadillac shoes, right? I mean, there are certain things that I only use like on vacation, and it makes them more fun. I mean, there's a few things like that.
And there's certain things like I only get on vacation, right? Like if we go somewhere in town and I know there's like a similar item like at Walt Disney World, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait because we're gonna be at Disney like in a month or something, you know, like it's more special that way. And now going to your comment about moving to Florida, like I used to think that all the time, that like, oh yeah, I want to move to Florida, but like, and I don't think the magic would be ruined, but like I get so tired of like all the stuff like around where I live for like food options in particular. And like, man, like I've eaten everywhere. So now we like to travel like 45 minutes out of town even sometimes now just so I could try something new. And I would hate to feel that way at Walt Disney World, like that I'm burned out on something, you know. I hate the feeling of burnout. And I'd hate for that to happen for something that I love so much and are passionate about. But yeah, I'm kind of with you. I see what you're saying with that, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. I mean, that's the biggest thing that I look at with moving to Florida or when we're down there and the food that we get to experience. And it's not always the rides and everything else. It's just that experience that you cherish the couple times a year you get down there, or the once a year or once every 5 years, depending on who you are. That's what makes it so much more special.
Well, too, it makes me excited because like and I know like it'd be great to not have to pay for flights, but like, I know I'm going down in December and I booked my flights. And so I now have my like, countdown going. And I know some people don't like this at all. Like they hate this. I love like the whole airport experience. I love going to the airport. I love the flight. I love looking out the window and taking pictures of the sunrise on the way down. Like I like that stuff. Like that's part of the vacation for me because I was scared to fly for so long. I know I'm an outlier on that. So now I'm kind of catching up for lost time, but I like the whole, like the overall experience of the planning, the anticipation, the getting there, the going home isn't so great, but it's the whole overall experience too, which there's trade-offs.
100%.
I mean, it'd be nice
The planning is the best part for me, Mike. I mean, it's whether it's 5 months out, 7 months out, or a year out. It just keeps that spirit alive the entire time, looking forward to what you're about to experience.
I agree. Well, Brandon, great call tonight. And man, you got me craving some peanut butter fudge. I'm gonna seek something to get something.
I wish I could replicate it for you. Rest in peace, Mildred McCool. She was the king.
Mildred McCool.
Awesome.
We dedicate this show to ye. Rest in peace.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Brandon, I hope I see you next month.
Absolutely, Scotty. I hope I run into you somewhere in the parks. If not, Mike could probably give you my information. I don't have yours personally, but absolutely we'll be there at the same time.
We'll
Awesome.
get it.
I'm happy to share it too. So yeah, we can connect. So sounds good.
Excellent.
All right. I'll talk to you later, Brandon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Real quick, Justin in the chat, he said he's twice that they've driven 4 to 5 hours from Michigan to Bojangles Chicken.
Dude.
Justin, I don't know if you've ever heard my Bojangles story. I won't say it today because we're trying to take some Disney calls, but man, like I love Bojangles Chicken, and I don't blame you driving 4 to 5 hours.
I didn't even know you had Bojangles. So, by the way, number's 407-413-9395. When a caller drops, lines are open. So give us a call. We're talking Disney, so anything's on the table, as you can tell tonight. Man, Bojangles Chicken is the jam. When we used to drive to Florida, we'd seek out Bojangles just like I used to seek out Zaxby's because we don't have those here either.
Yeah.
Either one. Oh, those are so good.
Well, I have a funny Bojangles story coming back from a Hilton Head drive, and I mean, you drive through North Carolina, every single exit, I swear, North Carolina has a Bojangles. And I'll just say one time we made the decision we got to try one, and it's just a really funny story. And ironically, I found one in Indiana. I think it was coming back from Missouri when I saw like Jared and you like over
there was
Memorial Day weekend. There was one in a gas station. I'm like,
there's one in Illinois in a gas station, which I was shocked by because we were coming home from seeing.
Maybe it was Illinois where I saw it. It might have been. I don't know.
It is in a gas station. I was like, wait, what? There's a Bojangles, but I was shocked.
I had to stop.
I had to drive there.
It's actually in the vlog. One of our vlog episodes. We stop at that Bojangles because like I don't care if I've had all this gooey butter cake and all this like crap trash food all weekend. Like I'm getting a Bojangles because there's one right here.
Bojangles, man. I remember we stopped there. Like we were the first customers of the day because we used to drive all night when we went to Walt Disney World. We'd leave at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and it's 15-hour drive, so we drive through the evening. So like I was starving. So like as soon as we'd hit like in Georgia or something, I'd be like just dying for a place to open, and it would either be Chick-fil-A or Bojangles, any place that served like chicken biscuits. Like that's all I wanted was a chicken biscuit. And so whatever exit, and that was before I knew what Zaxby's was. I didn't know if I always saw the Zaxby's. I didn't know if it was like a sit-down restaurant or what, but I was like, this Zaxby's has to be good because they're everywhere out here. And I finally fell in love with the place when I went to the first one. Now we don't have any in Missouri. They all closed in Columbia. But yeah, we went to that place. Oh my gosh, we all three, like the biscuits were so good. The chicken, because we've only had breakfast there, but holy smokes. So good.
You
Oh
only had breakfast at Zaxby's?
yeah. It.
Oh
Oh
my God.
no, not exactly. At Bojangles.
Oh, Bojangles. Okay. I was gonna say,
Zaxby's, dude. I get this. I think they're called nibblers. Oh, they're
Yeah.
like little sandwiches.
yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, I can quick tell the Bojangles story. It's probably not even that funny, but I real quick while waiting for the call.
Yeah, we're
So,
waiting.
so we took the exit to go to the Bojangles, and we go inside because I want to dissect the menu, right? I don't want to just show up to the drive-through and be like, I don't know what to get. So I want to go inside and figure it all out. And this is the slowest Bojangles ever. I mean, well, I don't know if it's slowest Bojangles, but it's so slow. And this guy says to me, like, just like usual, right? Like, this place is so slow. I'm like, I'm not from around here. He's like, you're not from around here. Well, just hop back in your car, go like this way. You know that's gonna be the best Bojangles ever. I'm like, why aren't you there? Was what my thought was. So we hop back in the car. I've read the menu now, so I know what I want.
You mean he told you to go to a different Bojangles?
Yeah, it was another customer told me to go to another Bojangles.
Oh,
Like, this one is not good.
I thought the guy in the drive-through was telling you to go to a different
No, it was
Bojangles.
another customer, but like, why aren't you going? Was what my thought was. It was really weird. Anyway, so I go there and I order, and the ladies asked if I wanted bow sauce, and I was like, no. Oh no, I'm trying to figure how it was.
When you're in the South and they ask for sauce, you always say yes.
I know. And I was like, no sauce. She was like, did you say bow sauce or no sauce?
Yes.
Which cracked me up. And I was like, oh, no sauce. And then I drive up and I said to Elizabeth, like, that was the dumbest answer I could have ever given in my life. Why did I just say no to sauce for for this chicken? So I get up there and the girl, let's just say the girl's name is Andrea.
Yeah.
It says it on her name tag. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Andrea. I made a mistake back there. And she's like, whoa. How do you know my name? Have we met before? And like, she just went off for like a minute about like trying to figure out how we know each other. And she wouldn't let me like interrupt. And I'm like, I'm just reading your name tag. And then like, she's just dying. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry about that. And I was like, but back to my mistake. I said no to the bow sauce. I should just say yes. Like, can I try the bow sauce? She's like, so you want to try the bow sauce now? I'm like, and I thought I was like in trouble. And I'm like, yeah, is it okay? I'm just like, it would come in a packet, right? Like every time you go to a restaurant, like the sauce is in a packet. Like, so just put a packet in my package and I'm good to go. She goes to her manager, okay, asking if I could have bow sauce. Like, she's like, this man wants to try the bow sauce. Is it okay if I haven't tried the bow sauce? And the guy's like, yeah. Like, she's like, so she yells to another person, like, can someone give me a tender with a bunch of bow sauce on it? And I'm like, no, I just want a packet.
You thought you were trying to scam her out of a free tender.
So she hands me a full tender, just loaded with bow sauce all over, like dripping, and hands it to me through the drive-through.
Shut up, that's a great scam. I would try this from now on.
I'm like, okay, I guess this is how I'm going to try the bow sauce. Now it's just dripping all over this tender. So, and I ended up not getting a packet, like for like the other stuff. Like that's the only taste I had of the bow sauce. But yeah, it was just a wild experience. Kind of funny story, but I loved it. It was so good.
Dude, you just woke up Mohawk's whole family in Scotland because he was cracking up at your story.
I'm glad. It was
just like the middle of the night there.
Yeah. So Andrea in North Carolina Bojangles, I hope you're doing well. Like I love telling that story. I tell it all the time. It's so funny to me.
So 1 to 10 was the bow sauce. I mean, was it worth all that effort? I mean, to get to move.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I
hope so. Like, got a free tender out of it.
When I think it was Normal, Illinois. Justin was saying like that's probably the closest one. I think that, and I would have driven through there on the way home. So I made sure I got bow sauce when I went there earlier this year, and it was good. I liked it.
Bloomington Normal. Yes.
Yeah, Bloomington Normal. That's actually the first Chick-fil-A I ever went to too. Was in there.
Yep. There's a big high school right at that intersection. Gigantic, like looks like a prison.
But yeah.
All right.
The lesson learned: just always ask for the sauce. Like, right? Just get the sauce.
Dude, in the South, always ask for the sauce.
But yeah, that is the hack. If you want to get another free tender,
I'm good, dude. I'll be like, hey, I made a mistake. I need 3 sauces, please, and maybe I'll get like a half order of tenders.
I know.
All right. 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. I noticed our live numbers jumped up when you told the story, so maybe we should do comedy or at least chicken tender reviews rather than Disney talk.
I mean, I'm all for it. Like, I love my Disney chat, but if we want to talk about like, you got Mike in the Midwest, if we want to talk about a couple guys with their funny stories in the Midwest, I'm all for it, man.
I mean, it is kind of lull right now in the Disney news. Not a whole lot.
Lots of stories.
the premiere pass. I did see today. I thought this was hilarious because I'm on social media on Sundays a little bit when I'm watching football in the afternoons, and somebody was using the Lightning Lane premiere pass at Disneyland, and they were using it at DCA. And so apparently when you redeem every one of the attractions in the park, the app gives you like fireworks,
like an accomplishment.
Yeah, like it goes pew 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 pew.
I was hoping you would say it resets and then you can start over again, because that would bring a lot more value to that.
If I was paying that kind of money, I'd be like, you know what? You still have time on the clock. Let's go through again. You know what I'm saying? Because like, what if you are very super efficient and it's 4:00 and the park closes?
So since we have some downtime, can I ask you a question?
Let's do it.
Two of the most common holiday parties, right? You got Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween, but you got about another week's worth of parties coming up. By the time this air hits the feed, there's probably just the last one.
Yep, that's it.
And then there's Mickey's Not So Scary. I mean, I know we got Jollywood Nights, we got some of these others, but those are the two like we often think about, right? Do you have a favorite of those two? Is there one that like if like 10 for this year? I know we're heavy on Halloween, so Halloween's fresh in your mind. If someone just said, "Hey, Mike, like we got a hard ticket event, we'll fly you down for it," which one are you going to go to?
It's hard to say. I'm more of a Christmas person than a Halloween person, even though I think the value, again, here's the value thing. If you're trying to like really like get like money wise, like you get all that candy for the Halloween party. Like you can walk away with like 3-4 pounds of candy. But I mean, are we trying to nickel and dime it to where we're trying to like put it on the scales as to how much? Are you just going to have a good time? And just once you pay the money, are you going to have a good time? To me, I am more of a Christmas person, and I am very nostalgic. Like I love seeing like old Christmas ads. I love watching the old Charlie Brown Christmas. I like watching Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Those old claymation movies, Rudolph. Like I just love the whole Christmas season. I have the bubble lights. I'm a Christmas tree when the time comes. And so the closest I can get to, I always tell my wife this, like when you go to the Christmas party or even just going to Walt Disney World at Christmas time, when you walk down Main Street USA at night, that's as close as you can really get in 2024 to walking through a Christmas card from days past. Like main streets don't exist anymore like they did in the 50s, like you see in the movies.
I feel like, I'd say you're close though. Like in St. Charles, they do some cool stuff. Like
yeah, we have that. Yeah, we have that a little bit. That's as close as you can come. But with the background music playing, seeing the parade, like they make the, they have the Snope, that comes down during the party. You get the cocoa and the cookies, and you got the, the marching soldiers. I get a kick out of them playing the music. I enjoy that a ton. Like it's cold. I mean, it's Florida cold, but yeah, I do enjoy it. What about you though? I mean, it's a value kind of thing.
I'm the same answer, honestly. So like for years, I would have said boo to you, but like that was before I went to a Christmas party. And let me go back. My first Christmas party was like because like if you time Wine and Dine right for us Run Disney fans, you could sometimes catch both parties.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You could catch one of the last Halloween parties and then the first Halloween party. There's like this week gap. And so we did that once. And I was like, man, I really like the Halloween party better, like when we compared the two. And I think part of the reason why was it was too early for me for the Christmas party. Like for me, the Christmas party, like it's got to be like Thanksgiving, which is like when we tend to go this time in the winter and fall. And it just gets me so psyched. Like I come back from that, Mike, like so excited for Christmas. I feel like a little kid again. Like I come back and then it's like Christmas is like 3 to 4 weeks away. Like I just had all the holiday decorations happening. It lifts my spirit so much. And I get like kind of seasonal depression around here. We're talking about the darkness, right? It gets dark so early and like I hate it. So like coming back from that parade and that, oh yeah, the Once Upon a Christmas Time at Christmas, like that song, like I just love that song.
Earworm though, man. Oh, you're stuck on that thing once you hear it.
Dude, but I love it, man. It is so good to me. Like I like that parade more, I think, than Boo to You. I know it's like I mean, they're both great parades, but I just love that. But I just come back feeling so refreshed from like just all the jolliness of like the Christmas party and all the Christmas decorations. That just makes my December like that much better. I bet you on years where I don't see it, I have a worse December than the years I do see it. And maybe that's a mind thing. I don't know, but it's how I feel. So like I should just go every year for December, I feel like, just to watch the parade.
Well, so to put that in perspective, 2 weeks ago, somebody posted on social media that if they started the Christmas party as early as they start the Halloween party in relation to the actual holiday,
Yeah.
that's when the Christmas party would have started 2 weeks ago. Now, as of the day we're recording this show, so this is 4 days before like when this
Yeah.
airs on the replay. So the Christmas parties would have already been going for 2 weeks at this point.
That's not right.
I know. Think about that, how far away we are from Christmas. That's how far out the Halloween party starts before the actual holiday.
Mhm.
So I think maybe there's more of an urgency, like you're more in the season for the Christmas party.
Yeah.
Maybe that gives you
And both are great, but I
more
just
season.
it's just something about it. And maybe it's because all the resorts are kind of decorated too. Like you're not seeing like Halloween decorations necessarily like at the resorts, unless it's like that day or the day before. But I don't know. It's just it really lifts my spirit when I need it. I feel like and I think it's awesome. I think they do that so well, and I'd love to see it at Disneyland. I know they do stuff now for like Christmas. I would love. Actually, I have been there. Actually, now I go back. I take a step back. I have been there for Christmas at Disneyland. It's just as beautiful. It really is.
See, I haven't. Like I need to get out there before. And this time, like they've pushed that race back, so I'll be missing all that stuff. You know, at
You
least
will
they
be.
had the
Yeah.
Christmas, like a little bit of I got a little leftover stuff last time, but this time,
Yeah.
nope. I mean, it's pluses and minuses. Did you see the new Hungry Bear? That looked pretty cool. See all the
Yeah,
parts.
is my guy still out there though? That's my biggest concern. Like,
I don't think I don't know because they did do some exterior changes. I'm worried about that. I have not got that confirmed, so I don't want to say either way. But
I know
I know my
the menu looks cool and all, but
the
yeah,
menu does look
I
good.
miss my. I'm gonna be sad if he's gone.
Me too, because I know you love that guy, and he is.
Yeah.
he's
Well, I got a
solid.
photo of you and Emily making the post because
Oh, I know.
that's like my
And I
growth
know
chart,
the
right?
thing.
We know we have those like photos, like Emily in front of the Soren sign through the years, or in front of the Nemo pavilion. Mine for Disneyland is like that Hungry Bear statue, man. I have a photo of her every year and like showing my growth chart of her. But
It's, I mean, it's going to be good. Like the train's back open out there. They got the Hungry Bear. This redone and it's reopened. Yeah, my chicken sandwich is gone though, which was just a basic chicken sandwich, but for some reason it tasted good back there. I liked it.
I know.
But also I'm hearing reviews because people are just starting to ride the Tianas out there. People, I mean, everybody's saying you get way more wet on the ride now than you did on Splash Mountain.
I mean, that almost seems literally impossible to me.
Okay, because I didn't ride Splash Mountain at Disneyland even before. Like I was like, this is my only shot to ride this because it's gonna close. I knew it was gonna close, and I'm like, hard pass because I don't want it. That day it was kind of chilly, and I'm like, yeah, I don't need to because I don't want to get soaked. And now people
imagine if you're on Kali River Rapids and you go under one of those giant waterfalls. That's how you feel on Splash Mountain.
Thanks. I don't know if I'm becoming a curmudgeon, but I just don't want to get drowned. I don't want like wet underwear and socks. I just
if
don't.
You get even more wet now, I don't know how it's possible.
These are like people that go to Disneyland all the time. Yeah. And I mean, these are people that are there a lot. And they're like, they're putting like in all caps, like with lots of Y's, way more wet on Tiana's.
More wet. I didn't think more wet was
possible. Dial that down. I get maybe it has to do with how much water they put in the. I don't know. Like there's got to be some kind of physics to this.
The worst part of that always was the shoes. It doesn't matter what seat you're on there. All that water goes into your log. And then I would try to like lift my feet up, as the splash was happening, like off to the sides a little. It didn't matter. Like it was game over. Like your shoes were going to get drenched. And if you're wearing socks, which I always do, like you're going to have to wring them out later. Like, oh my God, you would get so wet on that. I find it so hard to believe. Should we go out for research then, Mike, and find out?
Well, dude, that bums me out because I am hearing people say that it's actually, they feel like the ride, like the flow of the ride is really good at Disneyland. Like, I don't know, because I haven't been on the One at World yet either. So, but they say that it just feels a little bit tighter for some reason. Like everything's a bit closer. It just feels really good at Disneyland. So, I have the opportunity to marathon weekend at World and then Disneyland it, out there. But I'm like, dang, because I'll be out there in January or early February. I'm like, but I probably will. But
we need live stream of that, of you just getting soaked.
I hate getting wet like that. That is one of my pet peeves, man. I hate, because I mean, even if you get wet, I mean, like that's a long walk back to the Hojo. You know what I'm saying? Like with like, I hate wet shoes. I hate wet shoes.
So my move there would be, I don't take a bag into the parking as much anymore. I would take a bag and I would have my shoes and socks in the bag, and I'm wearing Crocs.
Dude, that's such a pain in the butt.
I'm going Crocs on that Splash Mountain, and then I'm changing my footwear afterwards.
Oh my God, is a ride worth all this work? I mean, for real. Like, that is so much work just to do one ride. That's I don't know, man. That's so, like, why do they got to drown us? Like, what's the point? Like, they could control that. They do not have to drown us. Like, come on now.
Yeah, everyone's agreeing with that comment. You gotta just bring a change of footwear. Like,
Dude.
that is honestly the worst part. And don't wear jeans, because jeans they're not gonna
dude,
dry.
No way. There is no way. That you'll get like chafed. I'm out there for a race. There's no way. Yeah. Come on, Disney. You know what you're doing. Like, I mean, it's still in the test phase. Hopefully they'll fix this. But when I heard him say, "Oh, you get way more wet," because I didn't do it because of you, because you said, "Oh, you get drowned on that one compared to World."
Our friend Joe Fickus describes it the best. He's like, imagine that you are in your log and two people are standing there and they're just pouring buckets of water on top of your heads. That's what it feels like. I agree, man. That's what it's like.
Who thinks that's fun? Like,
maybe there's 4 people with buckets now.
Dude, I mean, if you're like a 7-year-old boy, you might think that's fun for like 2 seconds.
But probably will. Yeah.
Yeah, no, pass. I'm old. I'm a curmudgeon. No thanks. Pussy William, take flip-flops. I don't need flip-flops in January at Disney. I got old feet. Anyway,
I'm excited because I haven't done it yet either. So that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to. Our next trip is finally trying that. Trying Tiana's. Super excited because I haven't watched any videos. I mean, obviously I know the concept, right? Because I've did Splash Mountain a bunch of times, but I don't know anything about the new ride. So.
The only thing I've seen is like just like the very exterior shots of like that, like walking.
Oh yeah, and that's kind of hard to miss
lightning bugs. Yeah, I mean, because you can't miss that. But yeah, I mean, I've waved just like Rise, dude. I waved him off until I rode it, and I've made it. So
I'm excited.
All right. We're going to get out of here, but wish everybody a great Sunday night or a happy Halloween. If you're checking this out here on the feed, we'll have the shows this week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So please join us for that. Don't forget, the podcast always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure, whether it's down to Walt Disney World, out to Disneyland, or sailing with the Disney Cruise Line. We'd love to help you plan that trip for no additional cost to you. That's right. Our services are absolutely free. So check out all the details this week over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online, getting that last minute Halloween costume, perhaps. Just click through beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to our Patreon supporters. You guys make all this possible. We could not do this without you. Just $5 a month is all it takes to support us. And you'll get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. This week, we talked about spooky places where you do not want to be alone at night. I talked about being alone at my elementary school when I used to teach, because I left a candle burning one time and I had to go up there at night. Freaked me out when I worked at Chick-fil-A at the mall and we were the last people in the shopping mall at night. That was not cool. My grandparents' house when I was a kid, oh my gosh, there were these horses over the fireplace, scared me to death. And the skating rink I managed at 3:00 in the morning when I was sure somebody else was in there with me, but they were between me and the door. And I was like, I'm dead. So that's what Mike in the Midwest is about sometimes. You want to check it out, just swing over to patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give Scott a follow over on the social media. He's at @Scott. I'm at beourguestmike on the social media as well. Would love to have a follow Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. Scott, you're also over at Must See Adventures on YouTube. What's happening over there this week?
We will have hopefully by the time this airs on the feed, like you've already seen it and you've liked and subscribed, because that's what we like. But it's a sea day. Everyone loves a sea day on a ship, right? And I told Mike, man, a sea day, like I'm probably only going to have like 15-minute videos and be really short. It's going to be probably about 40 minutes. So enjoy it as we're having fun. We go to a exotic restaurant, like an experimental restaurant, Wonderland, on the Anthem of the Seas. We do some quizzes and all this fun stuff and talk about the ship and all that. So exciting stuff. And then the episode after that, we're going to be in France. So like and subscribe. I would really love that if you did.
So experimental restaurant, what's that mean real quick?
So it's just crazy like food. So it's like experimental kind of like my meal came out like in a plastic bag and they had to like cut it. And we had like these like little cones with like guacamole and crab in them. They're like just like these little bites, and like we had these deviled eggs that came out like in a bird's nest. You know, it was
Dude,
just like
I'm in. Get that thing.
so it's kind of like it was like
No.
almost like a artsy kind of place. Like it's and like all the drinks came out. Like Liz got this drink that had like this like cotton candy like fuzzy thing all over it. You know, it's just elaborate kind of stuff. It's supposed to be like kind of funny, kind of trippy because it's like Alice in Wonderland themed. You know, so like
cool.
and you know Alice in Wonderland is kind of trippy, right? So
yeah,
so it's kind of cool. So we'll show that, and I do a Beatles quiz trivia. Will I win Beatles trivia?
Dude, did we not see you in like the very first episode crossing Abbey Road? I guess it is. I mean,
yeah.
Sounds like your most watched video ever. You almost went viral.
It is. It is like I know it's like 4,500 views. That's my best video by far. Yeah, and like what stinks about that, like you know about this too, like because we've talked about this. Like it's in my opinion, that's like one of my worst episodes that I've done. Like it was like very early in my editing days. Didn't really know what I was doing. And it's of course it's the one that's the most watched, right?
Yeah.
But my best one is like the least watched.
Yeah, dude, that is the story of this whole ride. With this podcast, the ones I spend the most time on, least amount of listens, and then the dumbest shows, most. I mean, every time. So you can't, you just can't think. You just put them out there and cross your fingers and hope. That's.
But if you haven't watched Our Day in Olden, that's my favorite one. Go watch the Olden episode.
You can beg. That's what I do too. Please download, listen, subscribe, review.
Thanks for letting me talk about it, Mike.
No, that's what we do. All right, we are going to be back again this week. So don't forget, next Sunday night we'll be together again. But for all of our folks over in Europe, I know maybe you guys, I think you guys actually changed times this weekend, possibly. I know it may be different, but next week will be an hour. Again, we have daylight savings time. You guys know how that works. So the times change, but it'll be dark everywhere by the time we start the show. So 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time next week. So we'll be here. We'll be lamenting how dark it is already, and we'll just do that together and talk Disney. So join us for that, and we'll have a good time. All right, for Scott up in Michigan, I'm Mike here in Missouri. You guys have a great week. We'll see you on the show this week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Good stuff.
You cracked me up last time when I sent you that little clip of me like putting a whole slice in one bite.
Joke. I was like,
I
oh
would have joked.
Dude, I was picturing me at that place at the Carnation
at the
Cafe.
Plaza.
Or the Plaza, yeah, whatever it was. I was like, oh my God, I'll be on stretcher. Mallory always brings that up. Mallory always. Did you see that? Oh, she does all that. Did you see that?
I saw you do it at the Grand Floridian Cafe too. I worry about you, Mike.
I got something going on there. Did you see that play by what's his face for the Commanders?
No, I was gonna because you were reacting to it, and then like Jason was in the
So because I was watching like the last 12 seconds of this game, I have it on here. Like the Bears took the lead. Who's the quarterback of the Bears? That guy that got the first round draft pick, the wrong guy.
Oh my God, Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams. So he took the lead like with like less than a minute to go, and then the guy for the Commanders from the LSU, Jaden Daniels, dude, there's 2 seconds left in the game. He's like at his own 30, chucks up a Hail Mary. Like everybody's going up. And God, for the love of God, if you're a defensive back, don't try to intercept it. Just knock it down.
Yeah.
You tip it up in the air. It goes.
You don't tip it up.
It shoots backwards, and there's a Commander guy in the back of the end zone. Whoop. They beat him.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God, it was like a 70-yard Hail Mary for the touchdown. I mean, I didn't try to like do that in Brandon's call, but I could not believe. I was like, that did not just happen.
That's so like the Bears, and I love it.
I know too. I know.
If only the Packers almost blew it against the Jags, it would have been a nice NFC North day for us. But
oh, that was crazy because like I couldn't believe it because like I was looking at the screen and I looked up when I looked up, I saw the guy haul it in. I was like, that did not just happen.
Oh,
anyway, all right. I'm gonna edit.
The person that tipped it up, man. You just don't do that.
Oh. I know. Everybody's trying to get that interception. You do not add the stats.
Well, because there's dumb incentives. He's probably got some crazy incentive. Like if you get 5 interceptions this year, you get an extra 200,000 or something.
Exactly.
Like who knows?
That's exactly it.
Oh man.
All right. I'm gonna edit this thing. I'll catch you later.
Sounds good. Have a good night. Tell the girls we say hello.
I will. Same to you.
All right.
Dude, was that cake good? That cake looks so good. I've been thinking about that thing all week.
Oh my God. Like so baking cakes, like is our like a local bakery we go to is
that wasn't homemade. It looked homemade.
No, it's from Baking Cakes.
Oh my God. I love cakes like that though.
Dude, that was so good.
Oh.
And then
I'm about that cake for real all week.
So I had this great like convenience store called Quality Dairy. We call it QD. I know you got your QT.
Yeah.
And they make they have the best milk. I mean, they have the best dairy stuff. They have the best ice cream. But they don't do like a real Neapolitan. And Emily wanted Neapolitan. So I went there and I bought a chocolate, a vanilla, and strawberry, like all separate. And
Oh,
made
yeah.
like my own Neapolitan for her. And I used that with the cake for me too. Like, oh my God, it was so good. The Quality Dairy, man, their ice cream is so good.
I hope she had a good birthday.
It
17.
was a good birthday. 17. And then we had the last marching band show the next day. Oh, wrecked me.
I was sitting between with all the senior parents, man. I was like, oh my God, I can't handle this.
Emily, so like my father-in-law came for his first ever game. Like he never saw her march. My dad and brother came too, and everyone. And like Emily came up to us in the third quarter and she just started crying, man. Like we had to hug her. Like all her friends were like crying too. Like it was just a mess. I mean, it's a good bond. I mean, you'll know it with the cheerleading next year for sure.
I know we had 14 seniors on our squad this year. Yeah. There won't be as many next year. So oof. I cry at anything, dude. I'm gonna be
I know I'm a big baby, man.
I'm not looking forward. It's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be terrible.
Elizabeth cried on the way home. I'm like, it's all good, man. It's all. I mean, I had to beat the strong one, you know. So
I can't think about it yet. I can't.
I had a nice old fashioned afterwards. So they call me.
I'll have to have like just straight shots of tequila. Like no.
I know. All right. I think I could smell chili. I think chili is ready. So.
What a good, it's a good chili night. All right. Well, tell the girls I said hey and thanks for letting me borrow for an hour. Appreciate it.
I always love it, man. You know I do. So
I'll see you. Take care.
See you. Bye, everyone.